your goal? I am Stephen Hicks, Professor of Philosophy and Executive Director of Rockford College's Center for Ethics and Entrepreneurship. Why entrepreneurship? Think about your work life this way. Compare working 50 weeks a year at a job you don't particularly like and enjoying yourself for 2 weeks of vacation to having a career that you are passionate about. Whether you work for an existing business or start your own, knowing what you want out of your work life is crucial. For many people, entrepreneurship is the way to achieve their goals. Here's a striking statistic about entrepreneurship. In the last 20 years, 5 million jobs have been lost at Fortune 500 companies. But in that same period of time, over 29 million new jobs have been created in entrepreneurial startups. For this generation, and especially among younger people, entrepreneurship has become the career of choice. One course we offer here at Rockford College looks at the careers of famous entrepreneurs from history and today. Andrew Carnegie, Commodore Vanderbilt, John D. Rockefeller, Martha Stewart, and Bill Gates. How did they become so amazingly successful? How did they take their ideas and turn them into products and services that other people voluntarily paid them millions and billions of dollars for? And how do you get started in making your business happen? What about raising the necessary money? How do you approach venture capitalists? What does a good business plan look like? How do you develop strategies for 1 year and 5 years down the road? And how about developing contingency plans for when things don't go as expected? Our faculty at Rockford College's Center for Ethics and Entrepreneurship are expert at addressing exactly those questions. Here's Professor Jeff Fahrenwald, director of our MBA program and a professor of entrepreneurship.
The analogy I always like to use is if someone were to go to their 25th high school reunion, and you go to your high school reunion and you say, you know, I'm an accountant for this firm, or I'm a manager here, and people go, oh, that's nice. But when you go and you say you own your own business, people go, wow. People go, oh, that's cool, I've always wanted to do that. That is the benefit for this sort of thing, and that people really, this is the thing that most people desire to do, and most people don't do it. Or if they do it, they fail. That's what people find cool. You know, and so not only is it fulfilling for yourself, it's got that wow factor.
Exciting stuff, but also potentially scary stuff. Starting your own business takes guts. It means actually having a good, new idea. It means having the courage to plunge in and make it happen. It means having the persistence to see yourself through the frustrations. It means knowing clearly what your goals are so that you can recognize when you have achieved them. That is where ethics comes in. What goals are worthwhile? What gets you out of bed in the morning and gets your juices flowing? What should get you out of bed in the morning? How do you want to make your mark on the world? Business is largely about making money and using it to live the American dream. How important is money, and how much will you need to live the best kind of life? Those questions of ethics are exactly the kinds of questions that Professor of Philosophy Sean Klein raises in his classes.
Business ethics holds a lot of value for a student because it allows them to understand and study more closely a field that they're going to be engaged in for their whole lives. Everyone is affected by business and engages in economic activity, but also it allows a student not just to understand a particular field, but to learn an important skill in terms of reasoning and thinking about moral issues in general, not just that face business, but can face people in other areas of their life, their personal life, their family lives. And so learning how to engage in the right kind of reasoning about these issues is very important, and business ethics explores some of those topics.
And that leads to broader issues and questions. As individuals living our lives in the United States, we're part of a free market, capitalist economy. How does our American economy work, and what role do entrepreneurs and capitalists play in it? What is the state of entrepreneurship and capitalism globally and internationally? Professor Fred Rezazadeh teaches courses on economics and capitalism both nationally and globally.
As a subject matter and economic category, understanding capitalism is of utmost importance because not only the United States, but much of the world operates under this type of a system in one form or another. More importantly, the end of the Cold War, the recent technological revolution, and globalization have and continue to bring about greater international integration, along with many challenges and difficulties, as well as prospects and opportunities. Therefore, understanding capitalism prepares us to better understand the changing world and the challenges and difficulties and opportunities which we shall be facing not only as individuals, but as a nation in the near future.
Of course, the U.S. economy is not purely a free market, but also incorporates significant amounts of government regulation. How free is our business economy? What is the proper amount of regulation? What do entrepreneurs and other business professionals need to know about the legal and regulatory environment in which they operate? Professor Robert Evans, chair of our Economics, Business and Accounting Department, teaches courses at the intersection of business and government.
Economists study consumer behavior and political scientists study citizen behavior. In my classes, we combine these two perspectives and we treat citizens as consumers, consumers of laws, consumers of economic policy, and consumers of regulation. We ask such questions in our classes as, how can government policy be made better to serve these citizen consumers? How can citizen consumers shape the policies which will affect them so intimately? I think these are vital questions because it's important to realize students will remain citizen consumers for the rest of their lives. They will be citizen consumers long after they are students.
The American approach to politics and economics came out of a revolutionary experiment that began over 200 years ago. That experiment has been spectacularly successful in some ways and also spectacularly controversial in others. How did the distinctively American approach to business, capitalism, and politics begin? Professor Jules Glaisher, chair of our Department of Political Science, is an expert on political philosophy and intellectual history.
The era of the American founding, from 1776 until about 1800, has been called the most philosophic period in our history and perhaps in the history of the world. In it, one can see the conjunction between benign philosophic reflection and practical statesmanship. A serious exploration of this period's philosophic currents and underpinnings should therefore better enable us to be thoughtful, reflective citizens and better students, to appreciate the political order in which we live, and to be responsible critics of that order without becoming destructive of public tranquility.
Of course, it is also true that America is not the same nation it was at its founding, but has evolved culturally and philosophically, incorporating in some respects philosophical and cultural traditions that are alien to democracy, republicanism, and capitalism. How has America evolved intellectually? And what explains the radically different attitudes people in America and around the world have toward business, entrepreneurship, and capitalism? Dr. Matthew Flamm, professor of philosophy, is an expert on just those philosophical and cultural questions.
In teaching this theme, this unit, in classes, I've found that students are very receptive, and not only receptive, I think they benefit in ways that go much deeper than some other things I've taught in classes, because it's particularly relevant to their lives. They come into the courses with an experience, a visceral experience that can be related to the subject.
And at Rockford College we teach all of that: business, economics, politics, ethics, philosophy, in the context of our commitment to the best traditions of liberal arts education. Dr. Stephanie Quinn, academic dean and executive vice president at the college, explains.
I think the center also is an opportunity for our students, for prospective students and current students, to bring together parts of their education that they might otherwise find to be separate. The world of application, especially in business, and the world of values and ethics. So I think a center that encourages the entire campus to join up issues of our practical education, substantive education in professional fields, with the reflection of our ethical lives, has a good and natural home at Rockford College.
In keeping with Rockford College's liberal arts mission, our Center for Ethics and Entrepreneurship has assembled a team of professors who teach courses of vital importance to future entrepreneurs and business professionals. Our faculty have published in a wide variety of journals. They lecture to national audiences. They serve as consultants to local and international businesses. But at Rockford College, their first commitment is to excellence in teaching. Most of our classes are small, so you'll have an opportunity to work closely with your professors. Many of our courses are team-taught by 2 faculty members from different departments. Each semester, our center publishes a newsletter in which we feature an interview with a high-powered achiever in entrepreneurship. We bring in expert guest speakers from the local community and around the nation. Each semester we have internships available to students in local businesses so students can complement their college courses with practical work experience. And each semester we offer prizes in the courses the center sponsors for the best student essays and business projects. Of course, one thing that might happen if you come to Rockford College is that you learn that entrepreneurship is not for you. Professor Fahrenwald explains.
For some people, they'll take the class and they'll go, oh no, I don't want to do that. I really don't want to be an entrepreneur. And that's beneficial also, because you'd rather learn in school that perhaps you're not cut out to be an entrepreneur and you don't want to be an entrepreneur before you invest hundreds of thousands of dollars perhaps and find out that you're not cut out to do it. So a class like mine will help people understand, first off, what entrepreneurship is, but then also help them understand if it's something they really want to do.
And if entrepreneurship turns out not to be for you, we also offer a wide variety of programs for all kinds of students, from math and science to history, literature, and art, to nursing and education for the next generation of teachers. At Rockford College, we will not dream your dreams for you, but we will help you to develop the tools and skills to make them happen. We'll work with you to translate them into realistic goals with a strategy and a timeline. For more information about the Center and Rockford College, drop us a line. We're ready to work with you.
One, two, three.